Hello everyone. So I'm going to be doing a look for you today that's very refined, very enhancing, and very chic. I certainly think so anyway. And it's very enhancing of the features, certainly my own, and I think it's a look that can work on absolutely everybody. It is quite a soft look, yet there's definition. It's the sort of look that you would certainly see on actresses such as Megan Fox or Angelina Jolie. Angelina Jolie slightly wears a little bit more on the eyes than the likes of Megan Fox, definitely. It's something that's very simple, it sculpts the eye and wings it out slightly, and quite a bit of lash. So that's what we're going to do today, and I'm going to talk you through the steps. I've already applied my base. I went for my usual standard, which is the Kat Von D Lock-Up Foundation with some Derma colour creams just to correct any imperfections and discoloration. I then set all of that through with a Derma colour fixing powder. For eyebrows, I applied MAC Cosmetics eyeshadow in the shade Omega just to sculpt, and then I went in with a Derma colour cream concealer and just drew in individual hairs and filled it in. So to begin the eyes, I'm sure you've seen me use this Louise palette before. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And I shall be taking this bone shade called Ting. And I'm applying that on a Zova 228 crease brush. Now I'm just applying this quite liberally, all the way up to the eyebrow, as it is a very close shade to that of my skin tone. And what I'm doing is applying this as a base, but it will also allow our transition colour to glide through the crease more efficiently. Going in with a nude colour is fantastic, just to even out any discoloration, veins or freckles. And with the same brush, I am now going to apply MAC Cosmetics eyeshadow in the shade Brûlée, which is a very similar cream colour to the Ting from the Louise palette. But what I'm doing with this is just taking it through the socket, as it has more colour payoff and it's slightly darker. So I'm just blending that through the crease. And we're sort of keeping most of the colour more towards the outer corner. And then I'm going to take a little bit of that Brûlée colour on a MAC 217, just to the underneath of the eye. And as you can see, that adds just ever so slightest amount of definition. And now I'm taking some of MAC Cosmetics eyeshadow in the shade Omega on the same Zova 228 crease brush that we used prior. And I'm just taking a very small amount of that because we want to build up gradually. And you can see I'm sort of just quite liberally applying it, but I've applied a very slight amount of it. That way we really start to build up a gradient. And with the Zova 231, I'm going to take some of that Omega and connect the socket and the underneath of the eye, just by patting the colour in. So we're almost drawing a line round from the socket just to the lower lash line, but going no further down, so that it all starts to appear a little bit more incumbent. Now, of course, Omega is quite a dark looking colour on me, whereas you might find it to be a very, very light colour on you. So of course you would adjust this suiting to your skin tone. I'm going in with our previous brush, just to ensure no harsh lines. And by layering up the product and just blending it through each time, you really create a very soft blend, a real gradient of colour. With the eye now taking shape, I'm now going to go in with MAC Cosmetics eyeshadow in the shade Soft Brown. It's a slightly darker, very warm tone. And I'm applying that on the same Zova 228. And what I'm going to do with this is just wash it over the eye slightly. Take it slightly softly over the brow bone. Because I found that even though I apply my eyeshadow quite high, in the occasions in which that I don't apply eyeshadow to this region or not at all and just have lashes, this region starts to look quite bald. So I always like to just make sure that there's a slight hue of colour just over everything to give it definition. And as you can see, that just warms it up ever so slightly. Apply a little bit more of that at the outer corner. And I'm taking a clean 228 brush, the same brush, but a clean version, just to make sure that we have no harsh lines. And then I'm taking an Inglot 6SS brush and taking some of that Ting Ting eyeshadow that we used earlier from the Louise palette. And I'm taking that down the brow bone and blending it into the look. Now for eyeliner, I'm not going to do anything that is relatively harsh. I don't want to go in with a black gel liner or a liquid liner. I don't actually want to go in with black. I am going to apply some false lashes, not a band, and maybe some individual lashes, but I want to build up definition on the lash line without applying liner. And to do that, I shall be using an Illamasqua angled brush with this shade of brown from the Louise palette in the shade Pom Pom. And I'm just going to first of all start lining the lash line. And then with a Space NK liner brush, I'm just taking that and lining the lower lash line ever so slightly and connecting it with the top. And I'm just blending that into the eye. And I've just blended the remainder of that pom-pom colour just through the socket, just ever so slightly, just so that it's all incumbent. And now to curl eyelashes. Now I am applying mascara, the Balm's What's Your Type mascara. I don't suppose that's a surprise to many of you. I go through this like water. It's fantastic mascara, I use it on myself and I use it in my kit. Now I always find that mascara makes such a difference, and certainly when I put it on and I see my eyelashes, my own eyelashes are pretty large as it is, so just putting mascara on them enhances them, and I always feel $1 million whenever I have mascara on. I always like to apply mascara to the bottom lashes with a lash brush, as I find mascara can be quite malevolent, because about an hour or so later sometimes I have like black specks all over here from the mascara, or like a black dot. So I do like to apply mascara to the lower lash line with a brush, as I find the transfer is not as great. And I also like to apply it from root to tip, because that way you actually apply most of the mascara to the root and it goes outward. So you get a lot of depth and definition at the base of the lashes. Now, even though I don't really think that my lashes need additional lash, I did say I was going to apply some eyelashes, and I think just to complete the look and to sharpen and refine the look, I'm going to add a small set of corner lashes. Now, corner lashes are different to band lashes. If you're not used to a corner lash, they're called corner lashes because they're more for the corners, whether you want to apply them to the inner or the outer. They're shorter, so they're not as long and as big. Well, they don't tend to be as big as the regular band lashes, which cover the whole eye, which I tend to find need to be cut. The band needs to be cut customly so that they fit the eye of whomever you're applying them to, or to yourself. Whereas corner lashes you can apply to the eye quite easily. Now this is just a cheap set that I actually bought on eBay, and I think they're fantastic. I like products that work regardless of their cost, and I'm just going to apply them using the trusted duo Adhesive. So the corner lashes are now applied. They add a fantastic little bit of definition. Now for contour, I'm not going to be applying Omega today, which some of you were probably expecting me to say. Today I'm going to be using a combination of this tone here and this tone there. Just mix the two together ever so slightly, and I shall contour in with that. The reason I mix the two together is because one is too warm and one is too grey. So by customizing, I get a tone that is absolutely perfect, certainly for skin as light as my own. So first of all, I go in with the more grey tone as a base. And because I have set my foundation through very thoroughly, I can really swirl this product around without disturbing it in any way. And I always lift it up ever so slightly, just ever so slightly. Because I tend to think contours look a lot better when they're seamless. I don't like all this stripy contour business. I'm just applying a tiny little bit to the temple. Almost continue the wing effect that we have. Just an ever so slight amount. And I'm going in with a slightly more warm shade. And I'm swirling this one around because it's quite dark. So by applying it quite liberally, we don't have too much. And then if it's too much, you can always go in with your powder brush from earlier and just mute it down ever so slightly. And on a NARS brush, I'm now going to apply Blush Baby by MAC. I do tend to use this quite a lot, and I'm sure you're getting very fed up of me using it. It's one of those colours that you can really warm up a contour as well, so you can really merge all the tones together. I certainly find it fantastic for that. And for highlighter, I'm going to apply some of MUA's Undress Your Skin. I really apply quite a tremendous amount of highlighter. I absolutely love the stuff. Some people like to be glowing for the gods. I like to glow greater than the gods. Now for lips, I don't really want to apply lipstick. I actually love the colour of my natural lips, but it's very, very hard to find a colour that matches it exactly. So what I tend to do is just apply a lip liner and a little bit of lip balm, and then I leave it at that. Because I love the natural colour of my lips, they're very, very red. And I think they contrast quite well with my colouring and my eyes and of course my dark hair. I think it just works very well. So to line, overline and correct the lips, I'm going to use this pencil in the shade Pillow Talk by Charlotte Tilbury. And this is a fantastic lip liner, but it is a very close colour to that of my natural lip line. So you can really cheat. Ironically, this pencil is called Lip Cheat. And now I'm going to apply some medicated chapstick, just to keep them nice and moisturised. I very much enjoyed creating this look. It's a very functional look. It's enhancing and it's also refined. It's not too much, it's not too little. I think it's just right and very suitable for many an occasion. And I certainly enjoyed creating this look for you today. I created a look previously very similar to this one. This look just is a little bit more sharper and a little bit more definition. I hope that you have found this either interesting, useful or helpful. Once again, thank you very much for watching and I shall see you next week. Bye!